Hello everyone. This video we're going to talk about data integrator in MCM. As you know, there are two types of data that we can import into the Eventpedia backend in MCM. One is we call the data importer, which has been explained in another video. This is when clients will use Excel template to import the data into the MCM backend. Now, this video, we're going to explain about data integrator. So what this data integrator does is we have written some code into some third-party systems, like your some registration system or your MS system where your event related data exists. So currently you can see these are the systems that we integrate with. So when there's integration, that means you don't have to populate the content through Excel, but instead we are consuming some web services or APIs in those systems and to bring data programmatically. So you can look at, we have integration to Aptify, to ClearVantage, Connexus, EventPower, Hub.me, IMIS, Impact, Impexium, Member Suite, Netform Enterprise, Netform Pro, NOAA, Slate, or your membership. So just give you an example. So if we go to Netform Enterprise, if you select this and then you go next, and you are going to provide some endpoint information. So every integration, there will be different parameters that we're asking. Depending on number one, if we have integration to that system. If we do, and then you can go to your third-party vendor and ask them to provide that information, and then you can come to MCM and configure that. For instance, using this is a Netform Enterprise. Right now, it is a MS owned by community brands. So if you are using Netform Enterprise, you'll be able to get your endpoint, which is really their XWeb, and then we're creating some service name through this XWeb interface, and then there's a user credentials and password, and the event code is the event that you have created in Netforum. And then you see those checkboxes. Those are the data elements that we can bring. We can bring the event info, the location, the rooms, the sessions, exhibitor, speakers, sponsors, and attendee data. And some API provide, some filtering, so we can get partial from last import, or we can get all the data. And then when you bring the data in, especially on the attendee, you can already configure to say in the app, in the attendee module, do you want to display employment info by default? Do you want to display phone, display email, or city and state? So usually when you do the integration on the attendee module for privacy concerns, now most of the client, when they bring the attendee data, they always say show the employment info and probably city and state. And by default, clients are not showing the phone and the email in the attendee list. However, you still want to bring that data in because most of the times you will need the email information to as the username to access the app. There's another video about the access and login mechanism. So feel free to look that up in the YouTube. And if you again, there are other, for instance, if you are using Impexium, you can see we are asking a different set of data. There is a web API endpoint, the app name, app key, app ID, password, username, and this kind of information. As always, you can access that particular vendor to provide that, and then you will come to MCM and set that up. So once you have that set up, and then you can actually click on import. Like for instance, in Impexium, we actually can write some data back. So some systems that we can actually do a two-way. Not only you can bring data in, but we can also push data back. So if you have any question, Again, feel free to send an email to info@eventpedia.com or info@avati.com. Thank you.